This has Dodgers fans very, and I do mean very concerned. And look, I don't want to be, okay, this is not one of the Brad J. Chicken Little episodes where it's like, oh, everything's horrible. I'm not doing that. But I'm bringing this up. I'm bringing this to what has Dodger fans concerned because I'm concerned about it too because injuries suck. And you know what's happened to our starting pitching. It's been decimated. And we need starting pitching to work. So what would happen if we were to lose another starting pitcher? It would not be good. All right. And who am I talking about? Talking about Yamamoto. Now remember the game that he just played when there was that play at first base. He was going to first base. Freddie dished him the ball. He landed on his hip, and it wasn't such a good feeling. In fact, Dave Roberts, Doc, had a few things to say about it. And here's what he said: a little hip issue. Hey, look, and the only reason I also bring this up because I freaking 12 weeks ago got a brand new titanium right hip. So I'm into the hip issues. Okay, it's way hip. Robert said Yamamoto had a little hip issue after the play at first base. He was pulled after 88 pitches through the 6 innings. And here's what Robert says: he goes, I don't know if that kind of got into the mechanics in the fifth or the sixth inning. It just seems as is fine, Robert said. And then for me, it just felt that we pushed him a lot the last outing. And I agree, the 110 pitches, that outing was not good. And I don't think when you're counting on that dude as much as you are, that you want him throwing 110 pitches. It kind of pushed him to the fullest tonight. Made sense that he gears up for his next start, which is Sunday versus the Yankees at Dodger Stadium. So, wow. Don't like to hear that. And look, I wouldn't even bring it up if it wasn't for Glasnow, Sasaki, and Snell all being out. I wouldn't even bring it up. But when I read that quote today, I was like, man, that is not something we need right now because injuries suck. Pitching wins championships, and he's got to start this weekend against the Yankees. So we need him to stay healthy, all right? And what else is said about him? Well, here's been the talk. Now, I said this the other day. Yamamoto's stellar season has gained National League Pitcher of the Month honors for March and April. That's pretty awesome, right? That puts him as an early consideration for Sai Young Award. So this is another thing where you do not want the dude to be injured because he is on point for a Cy Young Award. Yamamoto would become the first Japanese pitcher to ever win a Cy Young. And wouldn't that be amazing to have him do it in Dodger blue? So we're going to hold our breath for that one. But hope he's okay. So here's what you can do. Here's how you, as Dodger fan, can help out. Just think positive thoughts. Think positive. Pray for Yamamoto to not be hurt and make it start on the weekend and take care of them, those Yankee bums. Okay? All right. Roberts talks about Conforto. I want to get to that story. Also, Dodgers get back to their winning way, but don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications. I think we picked up like 20 or 30 followers in just the last couple of days on that way to 8,000. Appreciate it. Not quite a year old yet. Our first birthday's coming up here next month, but the show continues to deliver, and we'll continue to do that throughout all the way till the Dodgers win the World Series again. Boom. You heard it. All right, Roberts talks about Conforto. What's the dealio with Conforto, Brad? Well, here's the deal about Conforto right now. He signs a $17 million deal to join the Dodgers, okay? Look at his slash line right here. 162, 303, 260 this season. It's prompted Dave to, he's had to acknowledge it at some point and could not stop receiving opportunities. Could not stop receiving opportunities to play. And here's what Dave said, and this is like, you don't see Robert saying this very often, but this is what Robert said. He goes, there's a point, yeah, potentially benching Conforto. And this is for Bill Plunkett, got that out of him from the Orange County Register. Production certainly warrants opportunity. Do you hear that, people? That is one heck of a statement right there. Love hearing that. Production certainly warrants opportunity. So, is he on a long leash? What's going on with him, man? What do you think? How long do you give the guy? Here's what Roberts goes on to say. I do feel his track record has given him a longer leash, which he has earned. Not as a Dodger, so to speak, but remember how he started the season out? I think he had 2 home runs immediately before April 5th, and people were thinking, okay, this is a good move. Even I said it. I was like, yeah, good move. And then he just fell off and had a great game last night, that's for sure. Conforto rewarded Robert's faith on Tuesday with a home run, 2 hits, but he'll need to produce more consistently if he's going to maintain his role throughout and hopeful Dodger playoff run. So, with that being said, how much more do you give the guy, right? How much more? Do you continually send him out there, especially now that he had a home run? He went, 2 for 3? He's had a couple key walks. I mean, he hadn't had a home run since April 5th or even an RBI since April 5th. And that dude is pretty much an everyday starter. So what would you do? I'd like to hear your thoughts below. Fire him off. Would you give him a longer leash now that he's showing that he can produce? Or are you just saying that's a flash in the pan? He's not going to be able to do it. So I'm saying no to that. It needs to be traded or blah, blah, blah. Some people are ticked off that CT3 and Barnes are gone and Conforto kept his job. Some people are upset with that. Me, I'm not on that camp. Here's how I would do it. If it was my call, which it's not, but if it was, I would run the guy out there and keep him going. Last night was a nice little spark. You see the smile on his face. He's enjoying playing baseball again. And if he can get consistent, happy to see that out of Conforto for sure. So, like to know what you said. Let's hear it down below for sure. All right, let's take a look at the numbers from last night. And 3 home runs for the Dodgers. Good to see that. Shohei, Conforto, and Muncy. Muncy not to be outdone by Conforto with a 3-pointer of his own. Nicely done. Muncy. Ohtani, solid. Once again, gets that home run. You can see a hit out of there for Betts. Freeman always keeping it going. Even though he had 5 at-bats, he still got the 1 hit. Hernandez out there, Teo. Boy, I'll tell you what, that throw out at second base, he was lounging out of the box on that one. He thought that thing was gone. He would have not been thrown out. That would have been a double for sure. Muncy answering, love it. 3 RBIs for Muncy. That was that three-pointer in the 9th inning for him. Pajes, you can see that 2 hits for Pajes. Conforto, man, you don't see that very often. 2 hits in that category and a walk, right? 2 hits and a walk and scores a run. So that's pretty big deal right there. Rushing managed to get into the mix a little bit. Got an RBI in there, so for him, and 1 hit for rushing too. So there you go. Tommy, good to see him getting back at it because he was having a bad one. Good to see him get a hit and score a run. So that's how it went on the hitting side of things. But how did it look for the Dodgers as far as pitching? May, look at that ERA. Is that on purpose? 4.20 ERA for May, 3-4. I'm a little kid. Things are funny to me. 4 hits is what May gave up. 3 runs, 3 earned runs. That ding-dong, that 3-run home run, that didn't help him. But look at the Ks. 9 Ks. Nicely done, May. Love to see that. Gets the win. Good for him. Well-deserved. Dreyer comes in. Does a solid. 3.03 his ERA. Kasperius comes in. He strikes out the side. Love what Kasperius did. He came in. It's like they were on a vengeance. You know, they're like, no, we're taking care of it. And Garcia came in, did give up 2 hits, 2 runs, and 1 strikeout for Garcia. So he didn't pitch as well, but you didn't need Tanner at that point with the lead that the Dodgers have. But the 4.20 ERA, that's May. That's what's going on there. And then, of course, another game. The final 3rd game against Cleveland, formerly known as the Indians. That's going to be, you ready for this? Clayton Kershaw versus Allard. Kersh versus Allard. 2 left-handers going at it. Kersh, 7.50 ERA. Look, he was at 11-something, pitched 2 innings and brought it down 4 points. So you got to give him credit there. Allard, 1.50. He has not played a lot, but he's 2-0 with 7 strikeouts. And Kersh, on the trying to get to 3,000 career strikeouts, he's only got 29 left. So let's hope for Kersh to get about 9 or 10 strikeouts, and I feel pretty good about that, right? So there you go. Hey, that's going to do it, man. That's a lot of fun. Thanks for hanging out with me. You could have hung out with anyone, but you hung out with me for Dodgers Digest. Appreciate it. Subscribe, like, turn on notifications. I'm Brad J. As you go through the day, just remember to always think Dodger blue. And let's go Dodgers.